The 38th way of acquiring Torah, says the Mishnah, is machriyo lekaf zchut, judging one favorably. Although this attribute, this midah, is listed in a list of the 48 different ways of acquiring Torah, we've actually learned about this midah in a different Mishnah, an earlier Mishnah, in Perek Aleph Mishnah Vav, where it says, Yoshua ben Parachia omer, aseh lecha rav, kne lecha chaver, vehevei dan et kol ha'adam lekaf zchut. Yoshua ben Parachia says, make for yourself a rabbi, acquire for yourself a friend, and judge all men favorably. So what is judging one favorably? Judging one favorably would be pretty much giving the benefit of the doubt. If we're in a situation where we see an individual appears to be doing an avera, or says or does something harmful to us, we have to try and interpret that action in a different way so that it would make the person out to not be doing an avera, or not saying something harmful. For example, you see someone driving on Shabbat, you have to try and think, oh, Mazal Tov, maybe his wife is having a baby, or this person must be a rabbi, a doctor, going to save someone's life. Being the benefit of the doubt. So what's the whole idea of judging one favorably? What does that do for me? What does that do? What's the idea of it? I want to talk about, there's two different aspects of this attribute, two different people that are affected by it. There's the person who judges, and there's the person who's being judged. So let's talk about the person who judges. Me, I'm judging someone favorably. What does it have to do with me? In Gemara in Masechet Shabbat, on page Kuf Kaf Zayin Amud Bet, it says, Tanu Rabbanan, Hadan et chavero lekaf zchut, danin oto lezchut. One who judges his fellow man favorably is himself judged favorably. We all know that maybe the famous story of the man who was a complete Rasha. He steals and cheats and lies and doesn't keep Shabbat or Kashrut, nothing, goes up to heaven and he's ready to be judged before Kadosh Baruch Hu, and in come in all of the black accusing angels to accuse him for every last sin that he ever did. And on the other hand, you have this one white angel for defending him. And the white angel first opens his mouth and says, I'm not really sure what this man has done his whole life, but I can tell you that his whole life he never spoke a word of Lashon Hara. He never listened to Lashon Hara. He never judged someone unfavorably. And Hashem says, with that, I'm not going to listen to any of these accusing angels. I'm going to judge him favorably too, as he acted towards others. So we see that it's a very profound idea that me judging one favorably actually directly affects my relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If I accept someone with his flaws or with his averot, and I overlook them and say this person is not doing anything wrong, I judge him favorably, then Hashem too will look at me with all of my flaws and maybe all of my averot, and he overlooks that and will judge me also favorably. On the other hand, we have the person being judged. What does it do for him? So I want to open up with something that Shlomo HaMelech writes in Megillat Kohelet, where he writes in Perek Gimel Pasuk Tet Zayin, ועוד ראיתי תחת השמש מקום המשפט שמה הרשע ומקום הצדק שמה הרשע. And furthermore, I've observed beneath the sun, in the place of justice there is the wickedness, and in the place of righteousness there is the wickedness. So what does this mean, in the place of justice there is the wickedness? The Malbim tell us that in the place of justice, it's pretty much talking about in the court, in a courtroom. The inherent problem with the justice system is that we only see the wickedness. We're judging just the crime, which is a problem, because here we see the Mishnah compels us to go against that nature of judging someone by their crime and rather widening our perspective, rather trying to judge him favorably, see the whole picture. And we can even see that because in the Mishnah it says, Dan et kol ha'adam lekaf zchut. It could just say, Dan kol adam, every man, but it says kol ha'adam, all of the person. We have to judge the whole person. And that's similar to what Rabbi Nachman says, which I think is something very profound in his Sefer Likutei Maharan, on a Reish Pei Bet. He talks about a pasuk in Tehillim where it says, pasuk Tehillim Lamed Zayin, pasuk Yud. It says, "Ve'od ma'at ve'en rasha, v'itbonanta al mekomo ve'eneno." And just a little longer, there will be no wicked one. You will contemplate his place, and he will not be there. So what does that mean? Just a little longer, there is no wicked one. Rabbi Nachman comes in and says, just a little longer, and there is no wicked one, means when you see someone doing something wrong, just a little longer. You need to look just a little harder. You look at this person and try and find some sort of midah, some sort of attribute that's good, And in that attribute, you judge him. Because in that attribute, he's not a rasha. He's not doing something wrong. So you're actually uplifting him. Just a little bit more, you look at the tov. And then you contemplate his place and he's not there. And then you look at the place that he is and he's no longer in that place of a sin. Because you've uplifted him. You've judged him favorably. He actually says that through judging someone favorably, looking at at his better acts, you can actually uplift someone to do tshuva. Someone who's stuck in a place of bad, someone who maybe the whole community looks at him as a bad person. If we just look at him as a good person, we kind of give him a way out, no, you have some good attribute, you have some good. Rabbi Nachman's asking us that this Mishnah, T'dan Kaf Zchut, of Machri'o L'Zchut, we have to widen our whole perspective to just see the good. If we switch our perspective around, not just switching around the situation, he must be going to the doctor because he's having a baby, we kind of widen it and say, we don't even see the bad, just look at the good, and that changes the whole environment. So, to sum up, how is this Kinyan Torah? How am I acquiring Torah in judging one favorably? Torah is betzem, it's actually a way of life. Torah is a way of living a life of manners and of morals in society, interacting. And the first and foremost thing of living a Torah life as a Jew is our interaction with our friends. And when we are able to judge other people favorably, we're actually bettering ourselves in our way of our interaction in this world, which is the purpose of Torah, to make us better people in this world. Have a good day and great rest of Torah learning.